Welcome to In the Box Seat on the SA Sports Show, Channel 44. I'm Ray Fewings, and I love talking about greyhound racing each week on the program. We'll also be looking at one of the most popular trainers in South Australia, Todd Kelly, is our special guest on the program tonight. He's got the Uncle Dogs, and he's also got a good one called Nicolas Jack. We'll find out a bit more about that as well. Now, big news in the greyhound racing. We've got the Oaks on this week, the Coffex Coffee South Australian Oaks final, and there's no doubt that Stetson Donna, Hopes Up, and the speedy Sammy's Sister are going to be the major contenders in Thursday's final. But we've got the heats of the Coca-Cola SA Derby on this Thursday. Now, as I'm talking to you now, the box draw is being done. The big news is Barcia Bale, who was going to be the red-hot favourite for the event, is out of the race. And he's not only out of the race, but he's been retired. He's only beaten once in his life, and certainly he was looked upon as being one of the superstars of Australian greyhound racing. The good news, however, is that Fabregas, who won the National Sprint Championship down there in Tassie, he is definitely looking at the Adelaide Cup as his next major Group 1. So that'll be a fantastic coup. We've got lots happening in greyhound racing. We've got the Oaks this Thursday night. We've got the Derby the week after, the Sister Cities Cup with Australia versus New Zealand after that, and then right on to the Adelaide Cup in October. So the next 4 or 5 weeks, you want to get down to the greyhounds. You'll see some wonderful performers in action down there, and who knows, we could see new stars unleashed. Now, Team Daly from Victoria, one of the leading groups over there, have got 11 runners, I'm told, in the Derby this week. So they're really having as they say, a red-hot go at the SA Derby for Coca-Cola. Now, as far as the other events around Australia this week, we've got the Dapto Maiden. The special race is on this week over there in New South Wales, and the Chairman's Cup for the Stayers at Wentworth Park is also a feature race this week. And I've mentioned all the big events coming up at Angle Park. Now, the Honeys have been flat out this week. They're going in the new offices at Angle Park, so they haven't got any Thursday night tips for us at this stage, but they do have some for Wednesday. Race 5, number 6, Belford. This dog resumed recently after a bit of a break. He's had a couple of goes over the 388, and he's been very impressive each time, knocking on the door, and the girls are picking him to win. Also, Where's Pancho, race 11, number 2, Where's Pancho is their other special. As far as my tips are concerned, I think the Oaks is between Stetson Donna and Hopes Up. I think they'll battle it out. I wouldn't be surprised if Sammy's Sister assists with the pacemaking, however. It was very impressive in its heat, and probably even better drawn out there in box 7. But as far as my tips are concerned, on Wednesday, race 4, number 8, Springvale Cool. I think it's nicely boxed there and can lead all the way. And in race 8, I've gone for an each way selection here, Max I Am. It's a dog with genuine sprint ability, hasn't had much luck in the box draw lately. I thought on an each way basis, you'll probably get $4 or $5 about it. I thought it would be one of the hard dogs to beat. But all in all, we're in for a wonderful month or so, maybe 6 weeks of greyhound racing here in South Australia. Get on down to the track and get involved in one of the great sports in South Australia. Todd Kelly will talk to us next up. Well, as promised, Todd Kelly is our special guest talking greyhound racing tonight on Channel 44. Welcome, Todd.
Good day, Ray.
Now, you always look to be a young bloke, but obviously you're not, because I reckon you've been in the game for 20 years or more?
Yeah, probably more closer to 30.
Mm.
Yeah, no, I'm getting up there.
How old?
Not as old as my mother, but not as old as you either.
No one is.
No, I'll be 50 next year.
50 next year. Well, you're in good nick for 50, and you've obviously can duck and weave a bit.
Yeah, well, yeah, I've had a few experiences.
Yeah. Now, we're here to talk greyhound racing, and you've revived your training career in sensational style with this litter you've got by your grand old dog, Uncle Remus. So, first of all, we should revisit Uncle Remus, and people forget just how good a dog he was.
Oh, yeah, he was a great dog. He's one of the best dogs I've trained. Probably him and Fitzroy Jim were 2 exceptional animals I was lucky to have in the kennel, and he was from an exceptional litter. There were 6 in the litter, and between 5 of them, they won over 200,000. So, very, very good dog.
And he was an all-distance dog too, Uncle Remus, and I'm told he also featured in a couple of interstate races too. He got it through to the final or reserved for the finals.
Yeah, that's right. We took him to Sandown for his first 700 in the heat of the Sandown Cup, and didn't have much luck early, but ran a good race and ran third, and I think he ran third in the consolation as well.
So you only had the one mating to him so far?
Yeah, we've only used one of the bitches we had at home that wasn't related, and thrown a handy litter, a few handy bread and butter dogs. They're pretty young, and hopefully they'll go on with the job. And
one of Uncle Remus's sisters, Flame McBain, has thrown a very positive litter for you too.
Yeah, we got a nice litter there from Flame McBain to made the size. They're only young, they're 17 or 18 months old. And at this stage, Nicolas Jack looks like being a cut above the ordinary, and quite pleased with this progress.
I know right from the word go you were impressed with Nicolas Jack. He was sort of a natural. Is he named after anyone in particular?
Yeah, he's named after my son.
You knew he was special then?
Yeah, well, hopefully. It puts a bit of pressure on you, you know. Wouldn't like to see him get injured or something, so you didn't think about those things when we named him. But, yeah, it's certainly given him a big thrill when he won last week.
Now, I understand you're going to put him in the Derby. He's only green and he's a baby. Some people might say you're throwing him in at the deep end. Obviously, you're aware of that.
Yeah, but ideally the race a couple of months down the track would have been more ideal, but you can't pick when they have these races. So we've nominated him, and providing on his race being reasonable on Monday night, we'll see where we go from there.
Okay. Now, a bit about yourself. I know you've been very strongly supported by your mum, Ray, throughout your greyhound career. Who got into the greyhounds first, you or mum?
No, I was the first. I was into it, had the bug right from young. I was always a bit of a punter and into that sort of stuff. And once the dogs come along, mum took a shine to them, and she gets a lot of enjoyment out of it.
Yeah, well, I know she's a regular attendee at the meetings, and she's been with you all the way through. So what about Uncle Remus? Is he available for outside breeders? I am surprised that he hasn't been used more, considering how well he's done with just one litter.
Yeah, well, the litter he's thrown's pretty good. The bitch had been to two high commercial size previous to him and hadn't thrown a great deal, and this would be her best litter. And the thing about Uncle Remus, I've had a lot of dogs in my time, but he was one of the smartest dogs I've seen in the field, and knew where to go, and never held up. You know, he was a good chaser, and yeah, no, if people want to use him, they're more than welcome. You know.
What's the fee on Uncle Remus?
Yeah, it'd be a $600 fee, and they pay the vet fees for an artificial insemination, which is about $100. So,
right,
not a dear way to get into it, and I'm sure he'll throw you a hard chasing dog.
And you'll be using him again too?
It's a bit hard, Ray, because I haven't got any bitches that aren't related to him. So I'd like to see him get more opportunities, but unfortunately at the moment there's no bitches in my kennel that I can use on him.
Well, you're having a wonderful run at the moment. Thanks for being our guest on the program tonight, Todd.
Thank you, Ray, and all the best. Keep up the good work.
And we look forward to seeing more of the Uncle Remus dogs in years to come. Or if you want to have a bet right now, most of Todd's dogs are called Uncle something. So just go to the form guide and follow him. They get up at pretty big odds on a regular basis. Well, that's it for Channel 44's Greyhound segment this week. Get down to Angle Park. You'll see some wonderful greyhounds over the next 5 or 6 weeks, and I'll catch you there.